So in this video, we're going to talk about the plant cell. In the plant cell, we have the endoplasmic reticulum, which is this. This is specifically called the rough endoplasmic reticulum because there is ribosomes attached to the rough endoplasmic reticulum. That is why that is called endoplasmic reticulum. So smooth endoplasmic reticulum is plant cells or reticulum without ribosomes attached to it. The rough endoplasmic reticulum helps in protein synthesis. Now, let's go over to the ribosomes. So these structures here are called the ribosomes. These structures here are called the ribosomes. What is the functions of ribosomes? Ribosomes helps in protein synthesis. Now we have the chloroplasts. This is something that is so special that is not the same or found in animal cells. These are never found in animal cells except in the case of cyanobacteria. These chloroplasts gives plants its green pigments and helps chlorophyll in chloroplast give plants its green pigments, and chloroplast itself helps in manufacturing of food by trapping sunlight. We also have the mitochondria, which we all know that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. So mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell because it takes adenosine diphosphate added with a phosphate group to form adenosine triphosphate, which we call ATP, the currency of the body. Now, we have cytoskeleton. These cytoskeletons are made up of microfilaments and microtubules, as you can see there. The word cyto means cell and skeleton means skeleton. So when you hear cytoskeleton, we are talking about the skeleton of the cell because cyto means cell and skeleton means skeleton. So the word cytoskeleton means the skeleton of the cell. Now, the Golgi apparatus helps in transporting RNA, especially the messenger RNA. This is our Golgi apparatus. It helps in transport of the messenger RNA. Now, let's talk about the nucleus. The nucleus and the nucleolus. All these are found inside the nucleus. So this is our nucleus, that structure there. And the innermost one is called the nucleolus. The nucleolus occupies 25% of the nucleus itself, and the nucleolus is darker than the nucleus, as you can see from the diagram, and the nucleolus is found inside the nucleus. So take note of that. Why the nucleus itself have cell membrane? The nucleus has cell membrane, and this the membrane of the nucleus is called nuclear membrane, and this nuclear membrane perform a specific function by allowing exchange of materials within the cytoplasm. So the cytoplasm is everything that is found inside the cell membrane of the cell. So the nuclear membrane allows migrations of molecules and ions within the cytoplasm. Now, look at our cytoplasms. So, what is the function of these cytoplasms? Everything inside everything, both the organelle and the cytosols are called the cytoplasms. How? The cytoplasms is the combination of organelles and cytosol. So, what are cytosol and what are organelles? Cytosol are the jelly-like fluid of the cell, while organelles are the subunits of the cell that perform a specific function. So cytosol are those jelly-like fluid. That fluid part of the cell is called the cytosol, while organelles are these mitochondria, chloroplasts, cytoskeleton, Golgi apparatus, and the rest are called organelles. They perform a specific function. So cytoplasm is everything found inside the cell membrane. So plants has cell membrane and also have the cell wall. So before the cell wall, we have the cell membrane. Before the cell wall, we have the cell membrane. Now, look at the cell membrane and look at the cell wall. So the cell membrane is found inside the cell wall. As you can see from this diagram, look at my cell membrane, and this cell membrane perform a specific function. One, it separates the cell from its environment. Two, it is semi-permeable. They are made up of phospholipid bilayer. So they are semi-permeable. They allow exchange of materials within the environment and the cell itself. So it gives the cell its shape. Now, in plant cells have a special cellulose cell wall. So plant cells are made up of cellulose cell wall. This cellulose cell wall perform a function of holding the cell. It prevents the cell from bursting whenever there is high osmotic pressure. Whenever there is pressure within the environment or inside the cell wall stops the cell from bursting. So the cell performs a specific function of stopping the cell from bursting, and it is made up of cellulose. The cell wall is made up of cellulose. So I hope all of this makes sense. So the perissosomes, what does perissosomes? Perisosome helps in catabolism of fats. So when I talk about the catabolism of fats, I'm talking about the breaking down of fats during the fasting state. So when you are fasting, the perissosomes helps proceed in breaking down of fats. So I hope all these things make sense. See you in my next class.